I just wanted to ask you about like how you guys were able to raise us, and like you aren't racist. I mean, that's a big thing right now because, racism is kind of driving our government, our administration, the ICE raids. Like, how did people your age, coming from wherever you came from, like what were your thoughts when you were raising us, that we didn't grow up thinking that we were different or better or anything?
Well, our thoughts were that we had black students in the high school we went to, and some very prominent ones. And it came a little while later, after we graduated from high school, that one of the graduates there, a black man, donated, I think, all the money that took to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I couldn't put it out.
But he went to, what was your high school?
East High School, Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
This was probably 15 years after we graduated.
Oh, okay. But you guys went to the same high school, right, Mom?
Yeah.
In my case,
flying.
in my case, I was on a wrestling team in high school, and one of our wrestlers was Leroy Haynes, I think that was his name, and he and I were always partners in practice, and so we were going to, this was Denver, Colorado, we were going to somewhere in eastern Colorado, to a high school, and we were going to wrestle with another school, and I had, when you go on a trip like that, you have to have lodgings, because you're there several days. So Clifford and I were going to lodge together. He black and I white, and never thought about it until my mother found out and raised hell at the school. And I can't remember the results. I think we ended up not even going.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
I've accepted it. That's what it was with her. But I hated my mother all the time. It didn't change my hate for her because she was a mean, evil stepmother.
Yeah, but a lot of, like, even mom had a great mom, but also there was a lot of racism in those days, right, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
I remember you telling me a story about growing up. Like, you mean you grow up and you not racist at all with me, but that's not how Grammy was.
No. I think most of their friends were prejudiced.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all were kind of like that.
I think you're right, very much so. But they're good people, but they're not our kind of people.
Right. Separate but equal.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I ever heard a racial slur was from your mom when I was little. Do you remember that? Like sitting around the table, and Mom was like, you were horrified.
Well, that's what she said.
And Mom like brought me aside and she's like, I mean, I never even heard that word used, and my grandma was using it. Yeah. Your evil stepmom.
And the word was
N-word.
N-word.
Mm-hmm.
And I had several friends in high school that were pretty cool. And when I went to college, some of them were still with me. And yet, any time my mother would say, this is my evil stepmother, by the way. Any time that she would use the N-word, she would always lower her voice.
Because she knew it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She knew she was a bigot.
She grew up at one time, fairly well-off people, had a very large 3-story house in Bonita, Oklahoma. And when I was a young kid and we'd go down there, she had to live in maids.
Mm-hmm.
A maid and a cook. And they were just wonderful people to them, you know, because
they were her servants. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mom, didn't you want to invite your friend over for a birthday party or something? Isn't that what happened? Then you found out how your mom felt.
Didn't want it to happen. didn't want it to happen, sorry.
Yeah, so tell that story.
I don't remember that well enough to tell it, but she was, this girl was smart and terrific student, and suddenly I couldn't have her to my party.
How does that make you feel? How did that make you feel?
I was devastated and mad at my mom.
And that kind of devastation is because you have to admit to everybody, but your mom was that way.
Yeah. But when you guys raised us, we never talked about it. Like, it was just kind of by osmosis that I didn't even know there was racism in California because I never heard it in the house and you never said anything. I only remember hearing you one time talking to somebody on the phone, and there was a black family that was looking at the house on the street, and you're like, I hope they move in because that'll really piss off so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I was trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Subsequently in college, there were a lot more people in college.
Multicultural people.
Multicultural, yeah. And we'd chat with them, and we would go to the candy store or the bar or stuff like that, and it was no issue.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my evil stepmother, was raised in Oklahoma.
Yeah, she was a Southerner.
And it was just, even when she'd say the N-word, it'd lower her voice. And yet the two that were servants in her home as she grew up were good people.
Right. Yeah.
But they used the word to describe them.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about people your age today that are still, wanting the immigrants gone and still have racist tendencies? And
I don't know how a thinking person could ever believe that, but we know they do.
yeah, they do. There's still this white supremacy ideal in so many people.
And people who, well, like my mother, would not claim at all that she was prejudiced.
No.
It was just because they're lower class people and they're good.
The one she
Use the
knows.
word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one she knows. Yeah.
So that's a tough one to call. And as I say, in the Navy, they would probably ship 200 people in the ship, and I imagine there were 24 of those people. And yet,
Black people.
huh?
Black,
Yeah,
white,
people.
Mexican.
Yeah, and yet you're all the same. You're all pulling for the same thing. Something bad happens, you got to turn to it and go to work and see if we can save this ship and stuff like that. And we had a black man on the ship, pretty young, probably 22 years old, and a big guy. And I heard one day somebody was screaming. We were just like somebody was out of their mind, screaming loud. And it turned out that there was a guy going into a small compartment, and this was a white guy. And he went down a small compartment, and then he accidentally dropped a canister of might have been carbon dioxide, but some gas, and screaming, and nobody do anything. And this undesirable guy went in, grabbed him, big guy, threw him right up out of the hole, visibly threw the whole guy's body up and saved his life.
Wow.
And we thought that was very cool.
Not undesirable.
I'll say no.
Thanks for not raising me with racism, you guys.
You're welcome, sir.
You definitely didn't prepare me for the world, though.
Yeah. The world didn't get prepared for you.
Sometimes in my comments, people say, if I just stopped talking about racism, it would go away. If only. But that's not how any of this works. Look, if silence fixed racism, we'd be living in a post-racial paradise right now. The reason so many of us, especially white folks, don't know how to deal with racism is because we don't talk about it. We don't know how to talk about it. We don't do it in schools, not in church, not at dinner parties, not even at our home dinner tables with our kids. What we did learn was how to change the subject, how to flinch when someone brought it up, how to get real uncomfortable real fast, and then blame that discomfort on the person who brought it up. But racism doesn't disappear just because you pretend it's impolite to mention it. It thrives in silence. It festers when it's ignored. Talking about it is not the problem. Talking about it is the first step toward understanding it and undoing it. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So nope, I'm not going to stop talking about it. And if that makes you squirm a little, maybe you need to sit with that a little bit and figure out what that's trying to tell you. One share or comment or save shows that you care about setting the record straight and that you don't want to just sweep it under the rug. Follow me for more truth telling, and if you're so motivated, please consider supporting my work at coffee.com/Kelly Snyder. Get curious.
It takes only the brave, it takes only the wise, it takes only the educated to grow up in a society, right? Let me put the noise because I'm hearing some background noise, right? To to have this mentality of I'm not special, nobody is above me, we are all equal. It takes the brave, it takes the educated, it takes those ones that their number six is complete. I always talk about number six complete, and of which I simply means the mondulia oblongata. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back. I'll allow you guys continue to enjoy all of the stuff that I have for you here. Credits belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. With that being said, let's continue this video, hear from the other ones, and I'll be back with commentaries.
Wednesday night, and I didn't tell y'all this either. Wednesday night, me and a colleague went out to eat after the party, right? So he takes me to this authentic Mexican place, and I'm authentic in Chula Vista. And so we get our food and we sit down and we're talking and whatever. And this white man comes up to my friend and says, "Oh, your skin is very, very black." Exact words. I'm looking at this man sideways, and I'm looking at my friend. Friend is Nigerian. And he was like, "You're not from here, from his parts." Now he's in his traditional dress, obvious. And my boy, he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing at all. But I'm looking at this man crazy. And our eyes met. And he looked at me and he decided to walk away. And I looked at my friend and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I think this is our cue to go. Let's leave. Let's get up out of here." And we walked out and left, and we were talking about this. And we're like, you know what? This is what the man who's leading this country is giving them the permission to do this. And I said, this is why I'm leaving. I refuse to put up with bullshit like this. It was downright disrespectful. Downright disrespectful. And look, if you think this is going to change, you think it's going to get better, the system is collapsing. I'm not going to stay in a burning house for nobody. You need a plan B, whether you get it from me or not. You need a plan B. I don't work with everybody anyway. Or, you know what? Choose to stay stuck. Choose to stay in survival mode.
and choose to stay broke. Because, see, I'm trying to help build people, global millionaires, earning in other currencies. That's my main goal. Y'all thought this was just relocation I'm doing? No. I'm teaching you how to plant your flag. Tools are in the bio. The final emergency briefing in 3 weeks. That is also in the bio. Move now. Get left behind. Limited seats. Point blank, period. And the funny thing is, one of my clients said, "This looks like another Black Wall Street." And I responded, I said, "But it won't be on U.S. soil. It'll be global."
I wanted y'all to see this so that I could tell you that, in my opinion, the experience that she's describing is what I try to say all the time, is that not all white people are evil. There are a lot of good ones in there that just don't yet know the truth. And once they know, they see. So white people, if you're starting to question what all this stuff is about with racism, my best suggestion for you is to make sure that your life is up against the Black community. And if you'll do that, you will see that everything you've believed is just a bunch of lies you've been told. Go see for yourself. It looks like she saw for herself.
Hi, I'm Kylie, and here are 3 things that don't bother me as a white person. Number 1, when a person of color says they don't trust white people, I absolutely understand the sentiment and am not offended if you don't immediately trust all white people. On account of white people colonizing the world and then setting up a system of slavery and not taking accountability for any of the racism, I think this is a totally valid statement. It doesn't bother me because I don't feel like I contribute to the system in this way. Number 2, when a person of color says they don't date white people. Again, I'm not offended by this because even if the white person that you're seeing is really cool, their parents or their family might be crazy. They might be uber racist or come from a really strange environment and family that, quite frankly, you don't want to be involved with. That doesn't make you feel safe, which makes sense. And number 3, when people of color don't follow white feminist accounts. I understand there's a lot of white feminists who don't talk about intersectionality at all, or queer white feminists who don't talk about intersectionality, which is bizarre because every single struggle is so intimately connected. If any of these things bother you, you are taking this way too personally, and I recommend that you do the work to deconstruct what's going on. Because not everything's about you, and there's a racist system in place that you are probably contributing to. Okay, bye!
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and you guys have seen all of that clips, and that is why most times when I want to talk about white folks, I usually use the term some white folks, because I know that there are other ones that have every sense of humor. There are other ones that know exactly what they are doing, where they are going to, what has really happened to them, and why they do not see anybody above them. Do you get? Now, let's talk about the first clip where this man and his wife literally grew up with a racist parent, because I think there's one video, like I said, I've been following this lady's channel that she always talk about her dad. This is not even the first video I'm bringing here about her, and credits to her. She's really doing a good job. There's one video she said they have literally witnessed their grandmother being racist towards people, like their own grandmother growing up. But coming to their own parents, they have literally seen that they have never been racist towards other people. They've never treated any black person different and treat any white folks different. And it helps them a whole lot to come to that realization and be like, we are equal. And that is why, as children, they grow up with the mentality that their parents have. And that is why I said 99%, in one of the videos I uploaded before this one, I said 99% of what is actually bringing all of this thing called racist in the society is coming from the parents. It's coming from especially the mother that is always with the children, that is always educating and that is always there to guide them. It is coming from them. The moment the foundation is destroyed, there is nothing anybody can do. There is nothing any single person can do. The only thing that will not happen is they go into the society to start becoming another thing. They're going to society to start making it look like they own every single right. It is just few of them that are coming to relation and be like, we don't need to do this. Even if my mom is into this, I'm not going to do this. Even if my dad is into this, I'm not going to do this. There's only few of them that are usually educating their fellow white folks. And we find out that most of them that are really educating their fellow white folks, They are even getting into trouble in the hands of their fellow white folks. I've literally seen a woman as well talk about in her video where she was literally educating her friends about racism and why they should stop and so on and so forth. That as she is talking about it in this particular video, like, let's stop talking to her, let's stop picking her calls. These are her high school friends, people they grew up together as well. But because she was trying to educate them, and I feel like these are one of the things that is scaring a lot of them, of losing their friends, losing their personal family members over discussing about racism. But if you're white folks, you're watching, I want to say kudos to you, and do not stop talking about it, do not stop preaching about it, because at the end of the day, you are trying to do them more good, more good. That's what you're trying to do them, because most of them will not even realize that this thing they are doing is not making sense. Most of them will not even realize that this thing they are doing, they just feel like it's just a normal thing, like it's a normal thing. And so what, I have privilege, let me use my privilege. And at the end of the day, your privilege is causing you more harm than good. It is because of that lot of privilege that we keep seeing pew pew everywhere. And if you check their face, white male, white female, white this, white that, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, they'll not start saying, oh, black people commit more crime. Oh, black people are the ones that is not making this community safe for us. Black people are the one that is stressing us out, and so on and so forth. Look at the stress you're passing through. Doing all of this racist thing is a whole lot of stress already. So just help yourself, respect yourself. And if you need to keep talking about it, talk about it to your fellow wife, because black people do not have your time. Black people are the most peaceful people that I know. There are people that if you really bring down your head, you're going to enjoy every single thing from them. And at the end of the day, you'll be asking yourself questions like, am I really the one enjoying this? That is how black people are. But anyways, let me know what you think. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches you have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me a comment. And lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I say in my videos, I'm going to be saying, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.